See from Zion, sacred mountain, streams of living waters flow. God has opened there a fountain, this supplies the plains below. They are blessed, who its sovereign virtues know.
There are 25 Anabaptist congregations in Philadelphia, just in the city limits. And among that group, I think there are 9 languages spoken. Dan loves to tell the story of this space being a gateway and welcoming migrants, and that story is continuing today.
Learning about the history of this place sort of dispels a little bit the myth that the Mennonites have always been this closed group of people that people didn't come in, but that really it's been much more fluid than that. And probably even more fluid 150 years ago than 50 years ago in some ways. And I know that in my own Mennonite family history that, connections to where non-Mennonites came in or married, into the, so it's not just this kind of closed group. That's one story. I think the other story that I find interesting is in the late 60s and early 70s when the congregation was down to, just a half dozen people. 5 people.
That's what I'm saying.
And the way it sort of kind of grew back. And I think that relates with the Mennonite story of people that are largely rural, and their sort of frame of reference is rural as their faith has evolved, figuring out how to live that same kind of faith in an urban setting, and what that means, and then the tensions that sometimes creates in the larger Mennonite church. And of course there's a subset of people for whom that would be interesting, and other people would be like, well, whatever. But in any case, that's interesting.
I'm surprised how many Mennonites don't even know that history. I was surprised. I mentioned it. They'd be like, what? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I didn't know
I'm like,
it's
you've never heard that before? I don't know. I mean, I know it is complex history. I know there's the Quaker thing and all that, but at the same time, I feel like I would think that would be something that Mennonites would be like, yeah, look at us, right? Y'all were slaveholding and we had 1688, right? That's how I feel like. If that was my story, I feel like I would be a little proud about that and sharing that. I think it's a good intersection in terms of, you talk about folks in the community. I think that's something that people would care about.